Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's well. I hope all of you guys are well. I hope you guys had a great day. I hope all you guys are safe wherever you are. Hope your loved ones are safe. Hope you're having a pleasant week. Hope you're working hard to achieving your goals. For those of you, if you're new to Athlete's Voice, welcome to the family. Please do like, subscribe, and share. Please let all your friends know, family members, etc., etc. This is a platform whereby we will be connecting in terms of like sports, the love of sports that we have, from football to tennis to swimming to athletics to basketball to rugby, cricket, golf, and many more. So today I would like to ask for, I would like us to discuss the League One, the Ligue 1, which is obviously the top division in French football. We've seen a lot of things happening in terms of the transfer window. Recently, we've seen Neymar depart PSG for Al Hilal in the Saudi Pro League. We've seen also Alexis Sanchez departing Marseille on a free deal. We've also seen a lot of players also joining teams that are in the league. We've seen Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang join Marseille as well after his failed stint with Chelsea FC. We've also seen Ousmane Dembele join PSG in replacement of Neymar, which is so ironic if you ask me, because I remember at some point in time when Neymar broke the record for expensive transfer the most expensive transfer in the history of football, when he signed for PSG from FC Barcelona for 222 million euros. You understand? That was the record in the making, and I'm sure Barcelona profited from that, despite their own financial woes. I mean, I still ask myself, how is it that FC Barcelona finds itself in a financial crisis considering that amount of money that they had, that they profited from that transfer. I mean, that is like enormous, you know. So that's the kind of amount of money that more than 80% of the world's population could never even make in their lifetime. Most people can't even make even a quarter of that money in a year or in their lifetime. So it just like kind of, that's how let me say, that's how mesmerizing the business of football or the business of sport can be, for those of us that actually see it from the outside. And then now we've seen again, Dembele was signed for a huge amount of money, which was 110 million pounds from Borussia Dortmund to Barcelona to replace the departed Brazilian star. And again, I wouldn't say that he did live up to the expectations, but yeah, he did certainly show some signs. I think I was quite disappointed. From my own point of view, I'm quite disappointed that he has departed FC Barcelona and joined PSG. It's pretty much disappointing, because I still think he had to prove himself at the Camp Nou. But then I guess maybe he will play his best football in the French league with his best friend and French international teammate Kylian Mbappe, who all of us as the footballing fans, analytics, and everybody involved within the sport has been concerned with regards to his future. We do remember that he did reject a move to his dream club, Los Blancos, Real Madrid, 14-time European champions, where perhaps that could have broken the world record, but he rejected it. He opted to extend his deal with PSG, which many might deem that it wasn't a wise decision from him. But I guess the money talks at the end of the day, because that kind of made him the highest paid player in the world for a certain period of time, until Cristiano Ronaldo's move to Saudi Pro League team Al Nassr. So we will see with time, and with the return of the French Ligue 1, we've seen a lot of goals, we've seen red cards, we've seen a lot of action-packed. It was basically an action-packed weekend, with one game that did disappoint, that didn't live up to the expectations, which was PSG when they took on Lorient, and it resulted in a goalless stalemate, disappointingly. But perhaps it might be an end of the era for PSG. For their dominance might be slowly coming to an end, but we hope with the fact that now they've got Ousmane Dembele in attack, they've got Kylian Mbappe, they've got Marco Asensio, they've got all the star players in their team. With all the star players that they have, the likes of Marco Verratti in that midfield, the likes of Lucas Hernandez, the brother of AC Milan left back Theo Hernandez, also signing from Bayern Munich in the summer. So we will see with time how these players will be able to combine and if they will be able to build the chemistry within the team. So obviously the first game that did take place in Ligue over the weekend was the game between Nice and Lille, which did result in a 1-1 draw, thanks to goals by Guatan Laborde, as he was set up by Nigerian striker Terem Murphy. And then we saw Lille equalize in the dying minutes of the game. Lille equalizing in the dying minutes of the game thanks to a goal by 22-year-old French attacker Bafode Diakite. He was brought in from Toulouse in the 2022-2023 season and helped them gain promotion to the Ligue 1 from the Ligue 2. As well as his parents are of Guinean descent. And he was provided by former Manchester United midfielder Alex Gomez, who of course he made history in Manchester United colours, becoming the youngest player to play for Manchester United in the Premier League, as well as he was the first player born in the 2000s generation to play in the Barclays Premier League. So he does have a great catalogue, and hopefully. Unfortunately, he couldn't get game time, so that's why he had to depart the Red Devils in quest for first team action. And I guess he was the first player since Duncan Edwards did so. So hopefully Alex Gomez, we will see him don the famous colours of England, or don the famous colours of the Red Devils. Maybe a possible return to Old Trafford might be on the cards in future, but I guess time will tell. All is just needed from him is just for him to keep up with the consistency and the high level of performance that is required for him to return back to Old Trafford. Well, also in the other game, like I mentioned earlier on, that took place at the Parc des Princes, whereby PSG, of course, were missing key players such as Neymar, Mbappe, as well as Ousmane Dembele, who signed a day before that game took place for 50.4 million euros. So unfortunately, Barcelona did not get a return on their investment, considering the amount of money that they paid for him. Basically, they made a 55% loss. If we are to estimate, it's a 55% loss. So they didn't get much of a return on their investment. But I guess Ousmane Dembele, he did kind of live up to expectations at the Camp Nou, but unfortunately his career, his 6-year stay at the Camp Nou was hampered by a lot of injury, a lot of injury. So therefore that's the reason why he couldn't live up to the hype that he got and live up to the expectations that the prize money came with. And we saw it was not only him who was the big money signing for the Catalan Giants. We saw also players like Antoine Griezmann being brought from Atletico Madrid for a whopping 120 million euros. And we also saw the Brazilian, once upon a time Brazilian wonder kid Philippe Coutinho, who was also signed for whopping 112 million euros from Liverpool. So those were big money signings, which ended up becoming what most people would deem a flop. Which is very unfortunate, as we know that Antoine Griezmann has soon move back to his former club Atletico Madrid, and then we have also seen with Philippe Coutinho move back to the Premier League. He was on loan at Bayern Munich, where he won the Champions League, and he did score in the game against Barcelona, where Bayern Munich trashed the Catalan Giants 8-2, which saw them go all the way to lift the trophy. defeating Ousmane Dembele's current club, Paris Saint-Germain, which PSG did make history, reaching the Champions League final for their first time in their history. Then we've seen Coutinho go on to move to Aston Villa. At first it was a loan spell, and then he signed on a permanent deal for 4 years. It was a 4-year contract, so under his former Liverpool teammate Steven Gerrard, who was the manager at the time of Aston Villa. I guess in other games we saw Marseille defeating Reims by 2-1, thanks to goals by Moroccan midfielder Azzedine Ounahi and Portuguese striker Vitinha. We did see Reims also get onto the score sheet. They actually struck first through Japanese midfielder Yunka Ito, who was set up by former Orlando Pirates and Zimbabwean midfielder Marshall Munetsi, who has had a great time in the top flight of French football after signing from Orlando Pirates after departing Orlando Pirates a few years ago. Well, in other games we saw Brest take on Lens, which resulted in a 3-2 victory for Brest, as goals by a brace by Roman Del Castillo as well as Kennedy Lala. And then we saw for Lens it was Floria Soto and Divier Mercado, a Colombian midfielder. And then in the other game we saw Nantes take on Toulouse, which resulted in Toulouse winning the game by 2-1, thanks to goals by Zakaria Abukal as well as Rasmus Nicholson. And Nantes did also get into the score sheet thanks to a spot kick by Mustafa Mohamed, former Zamalek as well as Galatasaray forward, who also dons the colors of the Egyptian national team. And then in the other game that took place, was a Sunday game. We saw Clermont Foot take on AS Monaco, which resulted in a 4-2 victory. Monaco clinching a 4-2 victory over Clermont, away to Clermont Foot, thanks to goals by a brace by Wissam Ben Yedder, as well as Magnus Alacuchu and Wanderson, the brilliant Brazilian. Then in the other games, Montpellier 2, Le Havre 2, Reims 5, Metz 1. And Strasbourg 1-2-1 against Lyon. For more footballing content, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and please also let me know on your own predictions, your own analysis, and please do comment. Thanks. Cheers.